The Ark of the Covenant was found 40 years ago. The CIA's secret weapon helped the main biblical relic has not been found for over 2,500 years. According to declassified documents, none other than CIA special agents have come close to solving the mystery. What they managed to find out. Several versions, a huge box with a gold lid on top, and inside are those very stone slabs with carved instructions to the Jewish people. After the appearance of the Lord to the prophet Moses on Mount Sinai, the Ark of the Covenant became the main shrine of the Jews. According to the Bible, the relic wandered with the Jews for many decades. And only in the 9th century BC, under King David, did it find a permanent place. The ruler built a prayer house on Mount Zion in Jerusalem, and his son Solomon erected a full-fledged temple. There the ark was kept in a special place called the Holy of Holies, where only the high priest could enter, and only once a year. The last written mention of the ark dates back to 622 BC, when the Jewish king Josiah ordered that the relic not be taken out for public worship. And then, silence. What happened to the shrine is a big mystery. There are many versions. For example, it could have been destroyed by the Babylonians, who captured Jerusalem in 586 BC, or the tablets were prudently hidden. Another legend says that the gift of the Lord to Moses is in Ethiopia. In any case, this topic has haunted researchers and adventurers for more than 2,500 years. And now declassified CIA documents have shed light on a long-standing question. The British tabloid writes that the corresponding classification was removed from the materials back in 2000. Psychics in the service of the CIA, it turns out that the American intelligence services roughly knew where the relic was. In the 1980s, the CIA conducted experiments with people who claimed to have extrasensory abilities and could perceive information about distant objects, past events, or other people. All of this was part of the Solar Trace project. At that time, the intelligence services seriously believed in the paranormal abilities of mediums and believed that they could be used for their own purposes, from finding hostages kidnapped by Islamists to hacking KGB security systems. How much was spent on Trace is unknown. In total, the CIA invested several tens of millions of dollars in similar research. Protected by an unknown force, one of the declassified reports, dated December 5, 1988, describes in detail an experiment with a medium. A certain remote observer number 032 was given the task of finding a certain object. He was not told, however, that they were talking about the Ark of the Covenant. The target, which you want to find, Ed, is a container. Inside it is another container. The target is made of wood, gold, and silver, and is decorated with a six-winged seraph. This is how the psychic answered, judging by the declassified document. According to the report, he projected consciousness beyond his body and described in detail everything he saw. This target is somewhere in the Middle East, since the language the people spoke was Arabic, said observer number 032. The psychic also described the buildings located nearby, resembling mosques, and people dressed almost entirely in white, with black hair and dark eyes. The object itself is underground, in a dark and damp place. The target is protected and can only be opened by those who have permission to do so. The container cannot be opened until the right time comes, the medium assured. And if someone tries to do this, the relic will be destroyed by its defenders and with the help of a force unknown to us. The observer also sketched what he saw: a mosque with a dome, 8 mummies lined up in a row, a wheel, and a winged seraph. It is unknown whether this helped the CIA agents in their further searches. At least for now, it is quite possible that Washington will soon declassify and publish a new batch of sensational documents. The idea that the CIA was looking for the Ark of the Covenant with the help of psychics looks more like an attempt to create a sensation than a real historical investigation. Of course, the secret services have experimented with paranormal methods at different times, but such projects have never had serious evidence of their effectiveness. The Ark itself is not only a religious relic, but also a powerful cultural symbol. The story of its disappearance gives rise to many theories, from secret hiding to complete destruction. But the whole problem is that none of the versions are confirmed by archaeological finds. As for the declassified documents, it is important to understand that government archives often contain reports on the most incredible experiments, but this does not mean that their results have real value. If the CIA really found a trace of the Ark, it would be one of the biggest sensations in history. For now, all this looks more like a combination of spy myths, religious mysticism, and conspiracy theories. Perhaps the Ark really does exist, but its search requires a scientific, not a cult, approach.